I'm Cheyenne Hollis. This is the Touchback. The NFL, well, it's got itself a bit of a running back problem. If we're being honest, this issue isn't a new one. It's been around for years now. NFL front offices have continued to devalue the position in favor of allocating their salary cap resources elsewhere on the roster. A big reason for that is the fact front offices now find serviceable players, not good ones mind you, but serviceable ones in the later rounds of the draft and even off the street in some cases. In that regard, Matt Miller is 100% correct. Franchises should absolutely draft, use, abuse, and then discard running backs at their discretion. It's proven to be a viable strategy, and there is nothing in the current rules or setup that prevents them from doing so. On the other hand, Derrick Henry and Austin Ekeler are correct as well. It's utterly ridiculous that such a critical position in the sport has been devalued to such an extreme. Running backs have done nothing, absolutely nothing, to deserve their current diminished stature within football. Usually when two opposite sides are correct about the same issue, it indicates that there is a larger systematic issue at play. In this case, it is an unintended consequence created by the salary cap. Simply put, teams cannot pay everyone even if they want to. While Roger Goodell and owners may not think much of the NFL running back problem, it hurts the league. Star power is being sacrificed, and one of the most visible positions on the field has been rendered unimportant. And for what? Budgetary restrictions? Star running backs make the sport better. They also keep fans engaged, whether it is through making games more watchable or something like fantasy football, a key growth driver for the league, like it or not. A healthy, thriving running back position only offers upside for the league and its coffers. Alternatively, it can be argued that a dying running back position hinders the league's ability to make new stars, keep fans, and attract existing ones. That is obviously less than ideal. The good news, and there is some good news, is that the solution is actually pretty straightforward. Well, at least it is if you use some rational thinking. Roger Goodell and NFL owners have shown time and again that they may be incapable of doing what's right or what's best for fans and players. So while it probably won't happen, here is how the NFL could theoretically solve its running back problem. Step 1 starts with reducing the length of rookie running back contracts. Everyone agrees that the career of a running back is not like any other position in football. This is something that no one even debates anymore. The demands of the positions shorten careers and usually mean their peak is much earlier. With that in mind, it makes zero sense for running back rookie contracts to mirror those of other positions. All it does is prevent them the chance to reach free agency while they are still at their productive best. In order to undo that, rookie running back contracts should be shortened from 4 years to 2 years. Maybe you have first round running backs saddled with that team option for a third season, similar to all first round draft picks. That's something that can be discussed at a later time though. What this accomplishes is twofold. First, running backs are able to go out and get at least a second contract during their professional career. As we see today, by the end of year 4 or 5 with the franchise tag, front offices have no desire to give ball carriers a new fair market deal, which blows for lack of a better term. Second, shortening the length of running back rookie contracts would make it more challenging for NFL front offices to practice the draft, abuse, discard strategy. While still possible, turnover at the position every 2 seasons as opposed to 4 may cause them to at least pause and think about the risk involved, especially when we add the next step to this proposal. Step 2 is lowering running back cap hits. Every team in the league should be able to designate one running back to have a lower cap hit when compared to their actual salary. Look, The issue with running backs in the NFL isn't actually money. Owners have plenty of money to pay them. This is a salary cap issue first and foremost. Front offices are just hesitant to pay a running back when they can draft someone for much cheaper. If high-end running backs could be secured for only a fraction of the cap space, you'd have to believe teams would be inclined to sign them or at least consider handing them a second contract. How would this work hypothetically, you may ask? It's quite simple. A team can sign or re-sign a running back, but only have a percentage of that total count against the salary cap. Maybe something along the lines of 50%. For example, let's say Dalvin Cook reaches a deal with the Miami Dolphins that pays him $10 million per season. His cap hit under this plan would only be $5 million. You could also reward franchises who draft and develop running backs by increasing the percentage to 60 or 70%. In this case, if the Minnesota Vikings brought Dalvin Cook back at $10 million per season, his cap hit would be only $3 million if there was a 70% decrease. Guardrails would of course need to be put in place so teams don't do something sneaky like try to put a quarterback in this position or some other ridiculous thing. And again, only one running back per team just to prevent hoarding. But this is a viable way to ensure running backs get paid without having it weigh too heavily on the salary cap. A rare win-win, if you will. It is time to get down to the brass tacks. Could this work? I don't know. There would definitely be pushback from owners who, despite having billions of dollars, seemingly hate spending a dime. You may also find that front offices may still prefer paying a rookie $800,000 per year instead of having a veteran take up $4 million on the cap. You may also find that some players in the Players Association may not support such an initiative, thinking that it may be giving running backs preferential treatment. However, that doesn't really seem to be the case since every other position has a viable opportunity to get a second contract apart from running backs. That being said, this is worth a shot. Any other solution is worth a shot as well. Something must be done to reinstill value into what is one of the league's most premier and prominent positions. While all the focus today is on quarterbacks, most generations grew up with running backs. I know I may not be as big of a fan of the NFL as I am if it wasn't for the likes of Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk, Curtis Martin, and Eddie George, among others. There is a legitimate reason for the league to want its high-end stars at what is a highly visible position getting paid. No disrespect, but people ain't buying tickets or tuning in to see Alfred Morris or Tevin Coleman plod their way to 3 yards a carry. Additionally, they're not playing fantasy football because of those guys either. It's time we make running backs great again. If Roger Goodell and NFL owners are more than happy giving fans and players the finger by doing stupid shit like flexing Thursday night games and committing a litany of other offenses, they can at least throw us this bone. Just give us our dominant running backs who play and get paid. That's all we want. That does it for me. I'm Cheyenne Hollis. This is the Touchback, and as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.